We asked you guys on YouTube, how does the cost of living in Nairobi compare to most major cities in Africa? Most of you say the cost in Nairobi is relatively high, and it's a whopping 63%. Wow. Today we're going to be looking at the 5 reasons I think are actually what make people to perceive Nairobi as expensive. But as I'm going to lay down, it depends on a couple of factors. Wait to the end so that you can see my personal opinion. Number one, of course, housing, or what I like to call the bubble. So what is the bubble? The bubble is where most upper middle class Kenyans, expats, foreigners live. So that's what it's called, the bubble. Nairobi has one of the most expensive real estate prices in Africa in general. However, it is important to mention that there are levels to this. If you live in what I refer as the bubble, the average cost of a one-bedroom or a studio apartment in such an area will cost you $600 to $1,000 per month. However, if you're willing to live in the outskirts, where most actual middle-class Kenyans live, you're going to find more affordable options from $300 to $400 per month for a 2 to 3 bedroom houses, and the areas are actually quite safe and not as posh probably as the Kilimani or the Kileleshwas of Nairobi, but good enough for most middle-class Kenyans. The other factor that really makes Nairobi look like it's very expensive is the food. So this is a trickle-down effect from where you live, actually. So think about this, yeah? If you live around most of these, what I call the bubble, you're more likely to go to buy food in a supermarket, or you're supposed in areas which are very expensive because of the people who live there. But for the common Mwananchi or the common Kenyan who are living in the suburb outside, on the outskirts of Nairobi, for them it's easy to go to buy in the local market where the prices of most food stuff is actually really affordable. So again, where you live and the surrounding amenities really matter. So food, depending on where you live, is expensive. If you live in the bubble, food is gonna be expensive because you're buying from a supermarket. But if you live in the outskirts of Nairobi, you can actually go and buy directly food from the markets directly, and that's going to be cheaper. So the other factor is what I refer to as foreign tax. So it's very unfortunate, but anytime local vendors interact with foreigners, they tend to charge more for goods and services than the locals. So anytime someone hears you have a foreign accent, and it does not matter whether white or black, it doesn't matter, as long as some of the local vendors, I'm not going to say all of them, they understand that you're a foreigner, they may actually double or triple the prices. However, one way around this is to actually just take your time to learn, and also learn to haggle in Africa. You must learn how to bargain. The other thing is that can really help with that is you have to learn a bit of Swahili. Anytime you go to a local vendor and you just greet them in Swahili, even if they know you're a foreigner, that changes everything. It's like they know you know. You know what I mean? It's like when someone talks to you in the local vernacular, they instantly know that you know, if that makes sense. So yes, it's called a foreign tax. So number 4 is power and internet. Let me start with internet. So Nairobi has reliable and cheap internet services compared to other places. You can get reliable connection to your house for at least from $15 to $30 per month, and it's accessible in most parts of the city. This is great for people who work from home or need to stay to work as a digital nomad. The other thing is also power. Power is sufficient in Nairobi. That doesn't mean there are no blackouts, but they usually, when the blackouts, probably they'll stay for 5-10 minutes and it's back. So it's not as chronic as other cities in Africa. It's actually what someone can say as reliable power connection, as reliable can be in Africa. The 5th thing is, of course, cost of transport. So the most common mode of transport in Nairobi is what we call a Matatu. These are shared minibuses that operate on fixed route throughout the city. The Matatu ride is usually between $0.2 to at most $1, which makes it affordable for most people. There are also ride-hailing options like Uber, Taxify, Bolt, and I can guarantee you can get in a ride for as little as $2 to $10 and traverse Nairobi from point A to point B. At least most places you can be able to do that. You can also have a boda boda, which are motorbikes, and pay 2 to 5 maybe if there's too much traffic. But the other thing that we need to mention on this point is that yes, Nairobi does have a nightmarish traffic at times, so you need to plan your time accordingly. So, is Nairobi really expensive? Actually, the answer to that question, first of all, starts with where you live. If you live in the bubble, it is expensive. It is expensive. But if you live in the other outskirts of Nairobi, Nairobi is not that expensive. Food is cheap actually. Transport is actually cheap. Internet is cheap as well. So for me, it's more a matter of lifestyle and it's a matter of housing. If you can be able to live within your means in terms of housing, Nairobi actually is very cheap. So guys, we hope you found this video informative. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to learn more about Nairobi, check out the video above here and you can get to see a buyer's guide in Nairobi, why you should move to Nairobi. There are a couple of videos. So see you next time. Subscribe. See you and bye.